Hello, everyone. Today is Sunday, July 15th. I just wanted to pop in and say hello, and I'm doing very well. And I appreciate all the well wishes for a speedy recovery. And I just want to thank each and every one of you that have mentioned it, how much I appreciate you thinking of me and sending me positive thoughts and prayers for my speedy recovery. I have had a very good recovery. I think I'm doing remarkably well. I had a double surgery, something I hadn't planned on until just like a week before the surgery. Didn't know I was going to need that. But it was still outpatient and everything came out really well with the results. So I'm very happy about that. So now I just have to take it easy, not try to do too much too fast. And I have had some fabulous stitching friends that have brought me lunch. Thank you, Janet. And I've had lovely friends from church that have brought us meals a couple of nights. And it has really helped my husband to be able to just assemble things together for us to eat and not have to cook all the time because he isn't used to doing that, but he's been a trooper. But even more than that, I've had so many kind messages from you guys about, looking forward to me getting back to stitching. You know how much I miss it. And I was able to get back to it about 2 to 3 days after surgery. I just got to sit up a little while to stitch. I'm getting much better now. And yesterday, I actually even had a visitor who came and stitched with me for a couple of hours, and I was thrilled. My husband actually said that I was glowing. He said, I can tell that was good for you to be with your stitching friend. He said, because you're just glowing. You look so renewed. So I want to thank Donna for coming and visiting with me, and we stitched together and found out we don't live that far apart. So that's wonderful. Hopefully we can do it again. So I mentioned in my last video, if you caught it, that I had to change the whip I was working on because right after surgery, my brain was not as clear and I wasn't as aware of what I was doing or just not able to concentrate as well the first time I sat down to stitch. And so I kept thinking, I had to keep looking at the pattern. I kept misreading the color or the number of stitches, and I was having to check everything 2 and 3 times. So I put my Nantucket Rose away and I got out something I thought would be easier to follow. So I got out my Quaker Christmas 2 and I have been working on it for a little bit each day and then yesterday quite a bit as I stitched more than I had for a long time yesterday. And I got quite a bit done on it. I even rolled it up a little bit on the scroll frame, so I'm very happy about that. And I'm going to pause the camera and turn it around here in a minute and show you what all I've done. And I'll just have to point out which motifs I stitched because I don't think I have a before picture of it. So I'll just show you what I've stitched on since the last time you saw it. Anyway, I just wanted to thank you again for all the well wishes, and I will try to swap up to a new whip today and see if my vision is back to normal and if my concentration is back to normal so that I can begin stitching on all my whips in rotation like I like to. And I'm actually going to stitch virtually with the person this evening. We're going to try stitching over the Facebook Messenger and probably try to stitch for a couple of hours if we can eke that out this evening. And so I want to make sure I have a whip I can work on before that time comes. So I'll be doing a little trial and error this afternoon to see what I can do. It's probably good that I'm not able to stitch as 100% as normal because getting in my fabric for my new start that I want to do for Seaside Kingdom, oh my goodness, it's gorgeous. So I will show it to you as soon as I start it. I'm going to make you wait at least a segment or two before I get it out. And let you anticipate that for you. It won't be long. So anyway, I hope you all are having a great weekend of stitching, and I'll turn the camera around and show you what I've been able to accomplish. Happy stitching, everyone. Okay, here is Quaker Christmas 2, and I'll walk you through the progress that I've made on it. I had left off right here. I had this motif to do. I had this top one done, so this hole was here. So I started there, and I did that the first night that I stitched. And I will tell you, I was one too short on this side, and I had done the entire border and had come back up here and had filled in a bunch of this and was working my way over here and realized when I got to this stitch right here that I was one too short. And I had to frog out all of this border. Now that's all I had to take out, thank goodness. But I had to come back over one and come back down and around all the way back over to here. But I made it, and I made myself do it before I stopped stitching on it. I made myself get that frogging back in before I stopped for the night. And then the next day I finished this motif. It did take me 2 days. I'm not stitching as quickly as normal, but I did get that done. And then this was a very quick one that I finished, the second little one here. Then I moved on to this precious little house, and I got that done. And then this motif here was next. And this cute little heart, and the bird carrying the, I think the olive branches. And here's another tiny little motif that's finished. This next one over here is a huge one, takes up this whole section here. Then I came back over and picked up the green, and I did Oh Christmas Tree. And then I came over here while I had the green and did God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. And then picked back up on the red and did this, this, this. And then yesterday I worked on this. So I got quite a bit done, I think. That's a good portion from all of this up to here. All of that is what I got done. So I think that was a pretty good accomplishment. And I'm now ready to start. There's a small motif here, here, and here, little tiny ones. There's a candlestick right here. There's a fairly large motif under here. And then words again here, a little town of Bethlehem. And then I have a small motif here, and then a huge one here that says, Oh Holy Night. And so this motif here, here, and here are large. That may take me a full stitching session just to finish each one. So I must be in the big section, I don't know. But anyway, I was really happy to get this one finished, and I think it's a good time to swap out now. I've made a good progress on it, and I think I'm ready to see if I can do something a little more color changing and that sort of thing. I hope you've enjoyed my update. I hope you're enjoying watching the Quaker Christmas 2 as it's progressing. I sure am enjoying stitching it. I'm so glad that I got started on it, and I'm really hopeful that I might be able to finish it this year. But no pressure, not gonna worry about it. And I hope you guys are enjoying the weekend of stitching, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye. Good morning, everyone. This is Dina, and it is Tuesday, July 17th. Welcome. Thank you so much for spending time with me today. I have several things to share with you, so I'll jump right in. The first one is my fabric for Seaside Kingdom. I think you all, if you've watched my last video or so, you know that I was able to get this on the re-release for the celebration of the anniversary of Mirabilia. And I ordered fabric for this piece. I looked and looked and looked. I wanted something special. This is, one of those charts I looked for over 2 years. So I just wanted something that was going to really let me make this piece shine. So this is the fabric that I got. This is a Sunny Dyes fabric. It is a 32 count linen, and it's called Desert Twilight. And I actually got it from sunnydyesfabric.com. Isn't that lovely? Can't you just see that sandcastle coming up out of that sand at the bottom there and against that bright, sparkling blue background? I think it will be so vivid. I know that these colors are a bit more muted, and I'm going to have to do a floss toss to see if I need to change any of these blues and whatnot in the pattern. But I may just do it exactly as is. I may not do the clouds across the top, and I may not do the blue for the ocean. I may not do this little piece right here behind it, and I may not do those two little strips right there, because I think this piece is just going to be displayed on this fabric beautifully. We will see. You can always add in something if you haven't, done it, and you get to the end and say, oh, that's missing something. I got to put that back in. But I really am looking forward to doing this. Now, I will have to do some calculating. I've got to get the picture positioned so that it fits nicely, but also so that the castle and the sand is actually in the sand, on the piece. So that may take me a little bit of math, Stephanie. I might be calling you math. So anyway, I'm looking forward to this very, very much. Well, I had promised to share that with you, so I wanted to do that right off. And the second thing I want to do today is give you a status on what I've been working on. This is my Mirabilia Sleeping Beauty. I've been working on her for 2 years, and I am so proud to show you where I'm at today. I have a goal, and I still think it may be attainable, to finish this piece by the end of the year. So let me just show you where I'm at. This is her. I hope you can see it all, because I can't see very well what you're seeing. But as you can tell now, I've gone all the way to the border on the other side. So now I am very happy to report that it matched up. When I've looked now to see if it's going to meet on the other side, it's on the exact same line in the grid. So it will match up. So here's Sleeping Beauty. And what I worked on was this corner right here. I had some of this done, but not all of it. And so I wound up doing this major portion right here, all the way up into here. I did some of this as well, finishing off those drapes that were hanging down. And so now my plan is to just march across here and meet up. I think I have about a bottom third of the picture to do. It, of course, contains a lot of stitching, probably as much as the middle, but I am excited. So I'll give you another look of the picture as a whole. I hope I'm in frame there. And that's what I've been working on. I worked for 2 or 3 days to get that much done. And I have made the decision that I'm leaving the pattern out, and I'm going to try to work a day on her in between everything I do for the rest of the month. Because when I get this close to a finish, I start getting the itch to just finish it, just stitch on it till it's done. But I have to remember, there's as much beading in this piece probably as there is stitching. And so I will be beading for many, many days after I finish her stitching. And I don't want to burn out on a piece. So if I do a day here and a day there the rest of the month, I may get another little section of that piece done. And then each month I'm going to try to do a good solid 3 or 4 days on her. Because I still have to leave plenty of time for beading, and I really do want her finished this year. She's my goal for this year. So now I want to tell you, I've had some kindness. I have been so thrilled for those of you who've been able to share your gifts that people have given you. And I think Pam and Steph take the trophy home on that. They are so blessed and so loved, and people share things with them, and deservedly so. I think you guys are fabulous, and I enjoy watching your channel. And I'm sorry I couldn't come to StitchCon this year. I had wanted to, but it was the one weekend. As you all know, I went to New York, and so it was the one weekend I couldn't go. But I'm hoping for a chance in the future. So I, though, got a little stitchy kindness. Nothing to compare to Pam and Steph. I don't know that any of us could, but I was really pleased that a friend of mine finished stitching this piece called Spring Delivery. It is a Brenda Gervais pattern, and she messaged me and said, "Would you like this?" And I said, "I sure would." So this came in the mail. I'm very excited about it, and I'm gonna hopefully be stitching this for next Easter. So it'll be a little while before I start it, but I just wanted to share it with you and thank my friend publicly for such a kind, thoughtful gift. Appreciate it very much. So now I want to share something a little different with you. I had mentioned that I was going to participate in a round robin, and I got my information on it in the mail, giving me the name of my people that I was going to be working with, and also just the information about how to post everything, who actually had come up with the idea. But Liz and Debbie were kind enough to organize it and do all the work to put it together. So I really think that in addition to Michelle Gabriel, who was the originator, it was her brainchild, that I think Liz and Deb from the Country Stitchers, I think they have a lovely thank you coming from all of us that are participating. I'm looking forward to this very much. So I decided that today was the day I wanted to share with you what I'm going to be stitching in my round robin. I will be stitching a portion of this pattern right here. Now, I will not be using this color palette. I'll show you mine. But I measured this little section in here, the very middle motif of these flowers, and that is 50 by 50. So our space is supposed to be 55 by 55. Try to kind of stay within that if you can. If you can't, that's okay, but that was sort of our goal to look at for size. And then we were to pick our own pattern and our color palette. So back in November last year, I went to a retreat in Sevierville, Tennessee. You hear me talking about this every year because I go every year if I can. And it's a Katrina Boyd sponsored retreat. And Teresa from Shakespeare's Peddler was one of the attenders there, or attendees rather. And we did a gift exchange. You didn't know who it was going to be for. You just packaged up a gift, a sort of a Christmas gift. There was a dollar amount that you were supposed to not go over. And I was so fortunate. I got Teresa's package that she brought to exchange, and in it was this beautiful 28 count lakeside linen in this pale lavender, and that's pretty true to form. It's just a beautiful pale lavender. So this is the fabric that I will be using for my round robin fabric, and then we were to pick our threads, our thread palette. Well, Liz had a fabulous suggestion. She suggested that we put at least 12 colors in our palette because you don't know what other patterns people are going to be stitching on your piece, but you're supposed to be giving them the threads to use. So you want to give them a little variety because you don't know how many colors they're going to need. Now, I only need about 6 or 8 in mine, but I went ahead and chose 12 colors. So I'll share those with you now. I have a range of lavenders, purples, light, medium, dark. I have a white, And then I have browns, and these are more like a tannish brown. There's my medium brown or dark brown. This is my medium, and there's my lighter brown. They have a little bit of a pink undertone, which goes with the lavender colors really well. And then I chose blues that had a purple tint as well, just to keep with that color palette. Here are the 3 blues, and here are the 3 greens. So these are my colors, here and here, and they go with this fabric. So that's what mine's gonna look like. I think it's lovely. I can tell it's gonna be fun. So Liz and Debbie, thank you already for organizing this round robin, and I'm excited about getting it started today. Well, that's all I have for you today. That was a lot more than usual for one segment, but I hope you've enjoyed seeing it, and thank you for letting me share Sleeping Beauty with you as to where she is now. I'm secretly hoping that I get to share her again at the end of the month and show a little more progress, so keep your fingers crossed for me there. All right, you guys, until I have something else to report, I hope you have happy stitching. Bye. Hello, welcome back. This is Dina. I have an update for you. I've been working on another whip, and I'm ready to share with you my progress. So I've been working on Halloween tricks. I think this is so cute. It's a Saturday evening post cover, and I've been working on this for my Halloween piece. This is by the Stoney Creek collection. When I was working on it in the past, I had gotten the portion where the fence is completed. So this circle here was stitched. So this time, I just started working my way on across, and down, and I was able to add in the little boy. Well, first of all, I got the part over here that had the date for the magazine. And then I was able to start putting in that little boy's face. Now, there's a lot of confetti in there, believe it or not. There's a lot of confetti in the hair and in the skin, even in that mouth. I couldn't believe how many colors were in that mouth. But when you look at it, I think it just really has the funniest expression. I love the expression. So here is where I'm at now on the Saturday evening post cover Halloween tricks. If you'll recall, I am stitching this in a stitch along with Sonia from Cat Crazy Creations. And Sonia stitches on this piece on Sundays. So Sonia, today we were stitching on it together because I stitched on it today and it is Sunday. So that's where I'm at. I'm sure Sonia may have passed me by now because I hadn't worked on this one in a little while, trying to eke out some progress on a couple of my other pieces that are closer to a finish. So that's where I've gotten to. So that's all I have for tonight. I will let you get back to your stitching, and I will talk to you very soon. Happy stitching, everyone. Hi there, everyone. This is Dina, and today is Tuesday, the 24th of July, and welcome back. I appreciate so much you spending a little time with me, looking at whips and new projects and everything that I have to share with you. Today, I'm going to give a nod to Michelle Bendy Stitchy. I'm going to share a mug. This says, "There's no better friend than a sister," on one side, and on the other side, and there's no better sister than you. This, of course, is from my sister Stephanie. I'm having some hot tea in it today, and thoroughly enjoying it. So I wanted to share that with you. I am here to share my progress on my Quaker Christmas. So I have a little bit to share with you on that, and I am actually going to take it off of my stand for a moment so I can just spin it around and talk to you about it. So here's what I've been working on. I actually have rolled up the scroll on it before I started working on it this time, and I have gotten quite a bit done. I've been working on it for a couple of days now. So I came around here and I started with this little motif here, and I had to get each of these done around the star. None of those had been done yet. And so I got all of those little ones done first, and then this candelabra, or not labra, candlestick. That was next. And then as I moved on across the page, I worked on this one and finished it. Picked up this little one here, and then worked on the Oh Holy Night piece. Move it a little bit closer so you can see it. So that's what I've done this time. Started over here, worked my way over, grabbed that, and this large piece here. So now, for this row, I have one large motif that fills up that whole section right there, and that's where I will start next time. And as soon as I finish that, it will be ready for me to scroll up again. Now, when I scroll up, well, when I finish this one, in fact, on this pattern, I can't show you the page of the pattern, but on the pattern, there is only about to right there open, and then it's the page break. So the page break is right here. Right here. So I went and looked today to see how many pages I have left, because with it rolled up like this, you can't really tell how far I've come. I only have 2 pages left to add to this. So I have one full motif that goes right here. And then I only have to about right here little pieces of motifs. So I need to go ahead and tape my pattern together, and then I get to roll my fabric on up, and I'll be on the last 2 pages. Can you believe that? I can't believe it. This has gone so quickly. I am thrilled. Absolutely thrilled with it. So, anyway, that's how that one's doing. I am going to put it away for the day, for this rotation actually, because I have a piece that I want to work on that I haven't worked on in a while, and it will be the last one of my active whips for this month. And so if I work on it a couple of days, then I actually may have a few extra days at the end of the month that I can go back and do one of 2 things. I can either bead on Snowman and see if I can eke out a finish this month on that one, or I can go back and do a big chunk on Sleeping Beauty and move her even closer to a finish, which is, something I want to do by the end of the year. And of course I have to bead her, which is going to take a long time. I hope that you are having a great week of stitching. This week is, just getting started, so you've got plenty of time to work on your projects. And I'm happy to report that I have picked out a new motif that I'm going to be stitching in my round robin. The one that I did on my piece to get started, I realized that it was extremely stitch heavy. It was quite confetti heavy, much more so than I thought. It took a great deal of time and effort to finish. And then when I finished it, it was a heavy piece. It looked almost like full coverage, and I didn't think it was going to look great with, with that piece. And so I went looking for something that was Quaker style, but and for sure, and a little bit lighter. And I found it, and I'm really, really tickled. And it's actually on my Quaker Christmas piece, but it's not, doesn't look like a Christmassy motif because it has little hearts in it. And so I thought, great idea. So I'll show that to you, the first one that I get in the mail, and I stitch on it, then I'll let you see it, and we'll go from there. So I will close out for this segment and pick it up again after I stitch on my next piece for its rotation, and I'll be happy to share that progress with you. So thanks for visiting with me today and letting me show you my Quaker Christmas and where I got to on this rotation. Happy stitching, everyone. Bye. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is Tina, and today is Friday, the 27th of July. It has been a fabulous day. Oh, so much has gone on today. I had a lovely talk with my sister Stephanie this morning, and just enjoyed that so much. We hadn't had a chance to really sit and talk for a while, for a whole week, so this was a treat this morning to spend time with her on the phone. And then while we were talking this morning, I put the last bead in my Jim Shore Mill Hill kit, the Snowman. I have it all packed up with the threads and the beads back in here to pass the stash. So let me show you my finish. I don't have it framed yet. I'm going to pick the frame up, I think, when I go to Sevierville in November, because I know Dixie Darling carries the frames. But I just wanted to share this with you. I haven't pressed it yet. I'm going to wait and do that right before I frame it. But look at all those beads. There were 11 different colors of beads. There were some that were similar in color, like these blue. If you'll notice here, there's the large blue and then there's the petite blue. So that was true of the teal and the green. The red was the red and the white were the only beads that came in one size. You had this brownish golden color in petite beads and then in the larger beads as well. But it was great. It was easy to bead because when I did the border, it was the same colors and the same, patterns. And so I was able to follow that around pretty easily. And then when I finished all of that, I did the snowman. And then the last thing I did was the red border around here, because if I had run out of red beads, I knew I could always lose those if I had to. But I wanted to get all the red beads in the picture. So here is the snowman. I think he's gorgeous. Very happy with him. He is a Christmas present. And so once I have him framed, he'll be ready to go. But the hard part's done, so I'm happy about that. And he was my 17th finish for the year. So I'm really pleased with that. And now I have only 6 active whips. Loving that. So for the rest of this month, this is the 27th, and I have until the 31st. For the rest of this month, I'm going to make a decision on which one of my active whips I want to pick back up and work more on for the month, because I've touched them all this month, and now it's extra. This is extra time. So I had a finish, and now I've got a few extra days. So I'm looking forward to that. That's quite a big bonus. I'm excited. So I mentioned today was a very exciting day, that we had a lot to do. Our son was off work today and was available to hang out with us. We took sort of almost a family vacation day and went to lunch together. We just ran real quick to get a hamburger at Wendy's. because our mission today was to see Mission Impossible. I love the Mission Impossible movies. I used to love that TV show, watched it with my mother, always watched it with her when it was on, as long as she was alive. And have enjoyed every one of the Mission Impossible movies. I think they've stayed very true to the nature of what the TV show was about, but of course have, brought it in with the really advanced stunts and things like that. And they keep the problem that they're solving, very fresh. And if you haven't seen them, you should give them a try. You probably have, because they're pretty awesome. And this one was exquisite. I really, really enjoyed it. And so, really good storyline, really good special effects, mostly the stunts. And of course, we all know Tom Cruise broke his foot in one of them, and we know which stunt that was. And so it was hard to see it, knowing that that's when he actually broke his foot, and he goes hobbling off, and it's not fake. But loved it, loved the movie, and then we like to talk about the movies afterwards. What did you like about it? What didn't you like? Was there anything you felt was incongruent, and was there anything that you felt was just so out there that even though it was a movie, you still couldn't believe it, or just what we thought about it. So it makes a great conversation for dinner afterwards. But today we did something even different. We went to a new place we'd never been before. We're still discovering places all around us. And this is a place in Alpharetta, and it's called Screaming Nuts. It's an ice cream and donut shop. They were voted the best donuts in the state of Georgia. Now, my son's first response to that was, well, did Krispy Kreme not show up for the competition? Because we love Krispy Kreme. But anyway, their specialty there is their Screaming Nut. And it is a donut. It's actually 2 donuts. They take a donut and they cut it in half. They put ice cream in between it, whatever ice cream you want. And they fold it up like a sandwich, like a half a sandwich. So then they take another donut, cut it in half, and fold that up like half a sandwich with your ice cream you've selected inside. Then they top it with whatever topping you select, and then they drizzle it with whatever topping you've selected. And they serve it to you, and you eat it like a sandwich. Although we couldn't eat it like a sandwich because it was melting. It's so hot today. We had to eat it with a spoon. It's really good. I mean, who can beat that? Donuts and ice cream at the same time. But they have very unusual flavors. I tasted the key lime today, and my son and husband both tasted the charcoal, which is really chocolate and coconut. It's made to look like charcoal. And they had Dorito flavored ice cream, and we tasted avocado, and just all kinds of neat flavors. It's in Alpharetta, Georgia, so if you're ever in that area, look it up. Screaming Nuts ice cream. Today, when we walked in, they had Christmas trees in the window and had Christmas music playing. They had declared it Christmas in July just for fun. When they found out it was our first time being there, they were telling us all about, their different ice creams and recommending flavors for us to taste. And when we placed our order, the manager came out because people started coming in behind us and they were waiting on them very quickly. And she got to talking to us and found out, it was our first time there, and we had just found their restaurant and we're trying it out. And she asked us what kind of flavors we liked. And the next thing we know, she went over to the donut section of the store and brought us a coffee roll for in the morning that she said had cinnamon and spices in the roll. And then it had some kind of a wonderful whipped cream in it and, seasoning on top, cinnamon and stuff. And she just said, you're going to love it. So I don't know if I'll get any of that in the morning or not. Might have to fight my husband for a bite of it. Anyway, that was just her welcoming gift to us as new customers, which I thought was quite sweet. I took a little footage of it and tried to show you just a little bit about what was in there. So I'll put that in here and let you see what the Screamin' Nuts donut and ice cream shop was like and what I picked. My flavor that I chose was a white chocolate and Nutter Butter peanut butter sandwich cookie ice cream. And then I had Heath Bar crumbled on top of it as my topping and salted caramel as my drizzle. Wow, it was overload. It was so good. I couldn't do that very often. I will tell you, I couldn't even eat the whole thing. I got a picture of it, a little video I'll put in here. But if you want something unique and different, you want to try it out, you should go. We had a good time there. It was a beautiful day, and we came back home, and I wanted to film my finish for you today and let you know that I had such a wonderful day today on every level. I hope you're having a good stitching week. I hope you're getting progress on what you're working on. And I wish you all happy stitching until we talk again. Bye. Hello, everyone. This is Dina, and today is Saturday, the 28th of July. And I just wanted to stop in real quick and let you know that I am going to be passing the stash. I showed you my finish on Snowman, the Jim Shore designed Mill Hill kit. And I want to go ahead and pass the stash to someone else who would like to stitch this. I don't, of course, have the blue fabric anymore because I used it. But I am going to be sending you the pattern, all the leftover threads, and all of the leftover beads. Now, here's the beads. A little word about all that. I really think that you'll probably have enough thread to stitch it again. But if you don't, they're DMC and the numbers are on the threads. I've bobbinated them when I pulled them out of the kit and I put the DMC number on there for you. So if you need to substitute or, augment the threads at all, it'll be very easy for you to do that. But let's talk about the beads. There are 3 packs of beads. There are 11 different beads. The beads are actually grouped together based on the pattern. So on the pattern, you'll find 4 beads that have an asterisk after them, or they'll have another symbol after them. And those beads are in a bag together. And that way you know that the names of the beads. In another pack, you'll have 4 beads, and of course their names on the pattern will have a different symbol so that you know those 4 that are in a bag together, these are their names. And then one bag only has 3, and it doesn't have any symbol at all behind it. So that way you know those 3 together. And just to tell you what I did, I put them in a tacky bob, and I put the 4 that came in one bag on one side of my tacky bob, the 4 that came on another bag on the other side of my tacky bob, and I had to open a second tacky bob that I had in reserve that I'd never used and use one of those for the 3 that came together. But I just laid them out in front of me, and that way I knew it was easier to find which bead I needed because I knew those 4 were in one bag together, and I could always check and make sure I had the right color. Anyway, I think you'll have enough beads of every color but one. And I think you may run out of that color. So you may want to just start with your own. And that's the red beads. Because the red beads are used so much. They're in the design on the scarf. They're in the design on these little red dots. They're all the way around this circle. They're across the broom. They're also all the way around the outer edge. So you use a lot more red than you do anything else. All the other beads, I think you have enough. But the red, you'll probably need to just get your own red beads. But that'll give you an idea of what you have in the kit. You would just put a piece of fabric you want to use with it and get you some red beads, and I think you'll be good to go. It's a precious design. It's vibrant, as you can see, and bright. So if you're interested in being a part of this Pass the Stash, then leave me a comment on this video and just mention Snowman. You know, you can say you love Snowman, you want to stitch the Snowman, just mention Snowman. And at this time of the year, the only reason you would be mentioning a Snowman is because you want to stitch it. And then anyone who mentions Snowman, of course, I'll put your name on the list, and I'll do a random drawing for that on my next video. So it is almost the end of July. Can you believe it? It's going by so quickly. Anyway, I'm about to get out Sleeping Beauty and do some extra work on her. I made the decision that that's the one I wanted to work on, and so that's what I'm going to do. And I'll be working on her probably to the end of the month and just get an extra time on her. And so I'll come back and show you my progress at the end of the month. I'll reveal the winners of my 3,000 subscriber celebration. There will be 3, and one for each of the packages that I put together. The response to that has been wonderful. Thank you all so much for participating in that and for all the congratulations. I appreciate it. And so I'll come back and see you one more time toward the end of the month here in a few days, and you'll get an update on Sleeping Beauty and the winners of the celebration giveaway. And if you are interested, don't forget to leave me a comment about a snowman, and then on my next video we'll be giving that away. So happy stitching, everyone. I'll see you soon. Bye. Hello everyone, this is Dina. How are you? Today is Sunday, July 29th, and I have just a really quick update for you. I put a little extra time into Sleeping Beauty, and I promised to come back and show you when I finished her for this rotation. So this is where I've gotten to on her. So if you want to see where I've made my progress, I'll show you. 2 places. It'll be hard for you to tell, but in that green drape on her I think it's a cover actually, I've done a whole width across here of 2 shades of green. So that's another whole layer, or swag is completed in that green, and I've done 2 shades of that. And then I went over here and I finished this entire drape, minus the beading of course, but all the cross stitching is done in that section. And then I came over here and I grabbed these rolls and folds of fabric, and I worked on this one, and I started working it all the way down. Now this is interesting because right in here, this goes down to where this will come across the bottom, and then there's this greenery with some flowers that kind of span these 2 pieces. So this is actually completed to here. I've just got to keep it going, and then I've got the greenery at the bottom. So Let me give you another look at her all together. Oh, let's hold her the right way. There she is. She is coming along, and I think you can tell what little bit I have left at the bottom now, but it's a lot of stitching. A lot of stitching. But I will have to, I'll be finishing this long drape here. And then this green swag actually has another, probably I would consider it 3 rows to come down here almost to the bottom. And then this drape here, right here, is going to come all the way down, and then it'll come and meet up with the drape over here. So now what I've got to do is decide how I want to approach this, because all of this has got to line up just exactly perfect, because everything's going to start running into itself and reconnecting into itself. So in the past, I would work a section all the way across, and then another section all the way across. Then when I got down into this corner, I got so excited to hit the corner, I started just working from the picture down to the bottom. And then I moved over and did the picture down to the bottom again. And now that seems to be kind of what I'm doing here. I went ahead and did two of the colors in here because I know there's a lot of that. And it's sort of like 1/1 skin. It's painstaking to do because you have to leave all these holes. You can see the swirl pattern. You have to leave all that for beads. So you have to count really carefully so that all those swirls are appropriate. So we will see. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'll continue to work all the way across in sections or whether I will just continue to work all the way down. Because it makes sense when you're working in a color to just keep working that color all the way till it runs out. And that's kind of why I got started doing that at the bottom. But I may have to go back to working all the way across again, simply because I want to make sure that everything's going to match up where it's supposed to, and I can probably see problems developing a lot sooner if I did that rather than stitch one all the way to the bottom and then it not match up. Then I've got to fudge it with the other one. I have no way to make it work. So probably working back all the way across is how I will attack it. But anyway, I was really pleased to get that little bit of extra work on her. I'm going to stop here for the weekend, and my husband's getting ready to go back to our home that we're selling and do some yard work and trim some trees and things like that. And I need to help him get packed to go, and have to get supper for my family. So I'll be stopping here for the evening, and I'll pick back up tomorrow with some planning for next month that I'll probably do. If I decide to stitch on anything else, I will, of course, come back and share it with you before the end of the month. And before long, in the next day or two, I will be drawing the random number generator winners, plural, for my celebration of 3,000 subscribers. So be looking for that toward the end of the video here. So you'll see it in just a minute or two. Thanks for joining me this evening and letting me show you again my progress on Sleeping Beauty, this second time this month that I've worked on her. And I hope you have a great weekend of stitching. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Well, it's the time to announce the winners of the giveaway. We're going to start with family first, and I'm just showing you the random.org generator here. There were 50 people interested in the family package. I hit generate and it selected the number 10. And the number 10 is Golden Hair Stitcher, Susan. So congratulations, Susan, on winning the family package. And the family package, if you will recall, is the Lavender and Lace Mother's Tree and the My Big Toe Design Quaker Harmony. So I'm going to go ahead and generate the other two winners now that you see how I'm doing it. And I'll flip the camera around so that I can show you what you're winning and announce each winner. Hi, thanks for letting me flip the camera around here where I'm not trying to hold my phone in my hand and touch my laptop at the same time. So I took just a quick break and I did the random.org for the other two. There were, for the faith package, there were 41 people interested in that package. And the random number generator indicated number 32, and that's, is it Jeanne Wilcox? Jeanne Wilcox, if I'm saying that correctly. You have won the Faith drawing. That is the Old Rugged Cross pattern and the Gold Collection quilt. Not quilt, Gold Collection Lost No More. So that would be Jeanne Wilcox, number 32. Okay, then for the quilt drawing, this was by far the most popular. There were 81 people that were interested in this drawing. And the random number generator selected number 24. And 24 is Amber Marie in Arizona. So, Amber Marie, congratulations. You got these two patterns. The Let Your Heart Be Light by Shakespeare's Peddler. And the Lavender and Lace, the Quiltmaker. Pattern showing there a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to be sure and put my email address in the description box below. I'll try to go back if I can and comment on your comments as soon as I post this. And you guys can let me know how I can get these patterns to you all. So once again, the Faith package is going to Jeanne Wilcox. The family drawing is going to Golden Hair Stitcher, and the quilt drawing is going to Amber Marie in Arizona. Thank you all very much for participating in this celebration with me. Thank you for watching my channel, and thank you so much for your kind comments. Now, I'm going to wrap this up today, and I'm going to try to get it posted no later than by tomorrow. And that way I can get these messages on out to you guys and then get your packages to you. I hope that the last day or so of July is a great time for you. And I'm looking forward to watching everyone's arbitrary August. I'll see you soon. Thanks again. Bye.